There are articles all around the world with pronouns like he, she, it, they. A lot of people just are not quite sure what I am.
Initially, I saw the lack of representation for my community.
They're unconventional, unapologetic, and unafraid to be themselves in front of the camera. These women are changing the face of the modeling industry. Their beauty is anything but ordinary, and that's what makes them extraordinary. Nastya KumarOVA. She's an albino model who is taking the world by storm. She's the only one in her family with this condition. She says her parents have a darker complexion. Beyond those snowflake eyelashes, Nastya, aka Kimmy, has poor eyesight brought on by albinism. But don't worry about Nastya, she's doing just fine. She's worked all over the world as a fashion model, and her fans adore her. When LeClair did a story on Nastya's journey as a model in Taiwan, fans applauded her. One fan said that Nastya is an angel and an inspiration. Rayne. This gender non-conforming model started their career on a bet with a friend who insisted that Rayne try modeling with her. BuzzFeed called them the androgynous model of your dreams. This trailblazer can be seen modeling a men's shirt and pants with heels and with men's shoes. They refused to be put in any sort of category or box. Rayne pushed their agency to include them on both male and female casting jobs and encountered a lot of resistance from the more conservative staff members of the agency. But Rayne eventually found their way onto the cover of Italian Vogue. Madeline Stewart. She's the first professional supermodel with Down syndrome. She told her mom she wanted to be a model when they went to a fashion show together. She was only 17 at the time. Her mom arranged for a photo shoot for her daughter. She posted the pictures on Facebook, and that's when the offers started rolling in. People were calling and asking if Madeline would be interested in walking the runway in Paris and New York. They wanted her to be a part of Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week in China. She's been a big hit ever since, and it's no surprise when you see her owning that runway. Ilkka Bruhl. Her goal in life is to remind the world that everyone is beautiful. This German model has not let her rare facial defect stop her from taking absolutely breathtaking photos. She explained to Project Limitless that she was born with a facial cleft and that her nose airways were not properly formed. She also lacks a tear duct on one side, so she always has tears running from that eye. Ilkka loves posing for pictures. She shared that she believes there is only one way to be ugly, and that's by having an ugly character. She doesn't think anyone should hide because of their appearance. K Yeh. She was studying to become a doctor when an Instagram photo changed everything. A street photographer snapped a picture of her and posted it on his page. In no time, the pic went viral and she signed a contract with a top modeling agency. In just 6 months, she made history as the second black model to open Prada's runway show after Naomi Campbell. She became Estee Lauder's spokesmodel, speaking out about the lack of makeup options for women with dark skin tones. She said that in the past she could never find the right shade. When she walked into a store, she could always find lighter shades, but only about 3 options for black women. She said that black is a very broad spectrum, and it makes her happy that Estee Lauder makes it a point to address all women of all shades. Victoria Modesta. In her song Prototype, she sings that she is the model of the future. This pop star convinced a doctor to amputate her leg when she was 20. Her leg had been badly damaged during her birth. She said she wanted to build an identity that she was more comfortable with instead of the one that was given to her. Now she's being called the world's first amputee pop artist. Victoria says it's inevitable that all body types will be accepted one day, even in the fashion and music industries. She said there needs to be more variety. She believes people need to stop feeling freaked out, tabooed, offended, superior, or inferior when they stand next to a person with a different body than their own. Elya Sophia. Her face is the perfect combo of big, wide-set eyes and full, pouty lips. Although she is an unconventional beauty, she has done many editorials in magazines and even landed a Gucci runway appearance. She is redefining beauty standards with her unusual look, and the fashion world is loving it. Shudu Gram. If you think someone with such a perfect facial structure and unique skin tone can't possibly exist, you'd be right. Welcome to the world of computer-generated digital influencers, and meet the world's first digital supermodel. Shudu was designed to be a woman in her mid to late 20s from South Africa. She has 197,000 followers on Instagram, and here's the crazy part, she's not even real. This has become a source of controversy in the modeling world. Many models don't like the idea of digital supermodels taking away their jobs, but Shudu's creator thinks this is a way for models to sell their pictures without ever stepping foot in a photo studio. What do you think? Do you like the idea of digital supermodels? Ava Gianni. This French-American fashion model has been through a lot of struggles. At just 20 years old, she suffered a stroke. During her recovery, she took medication that caused her to have an allergic reaction. This reaction, combined with the sunlight, caused her to have these unique blemishes on her cheeks. They look like freckles, but they were actually second-degree burns at one time. In addition to being in a wheelchair for 8 months, she had to be treated for skin cancer. After she recovered and learned to walk again, she was scouted and introduced to the modeling world. But she doesn't plan to stay there. Maeva's message is to just treat each other as human beings despite the way we look. Issa Lish. She's the perfect combination of Mexican and Japanese. Although she has a unique look, she is 100% gorgeous. She was discovered at 14 years old while working at a sushi restaurant. She met with an agent and started booking modeling jobs all over the world. Not bad for a girl who grew up in Mexico City being teased by the other kids who called her Issa Alien. In addition to whatever incredible couture she is wearing, she dons her old nickname with pride. Her unique looks have made it possible for her to have the job of her dreams. Devin Aoki. When people think supermodel, they usually think tall, but Devin Aoki shattered that expectation when she strutted onto the scene at 5 feet 5 inches tall. Before she left the runway for the big screen, she was one of the shortest supermodels in the game. This half-Japanese, half-American beauty was only 13 years old when she was discovered at a concert in New York. By 16, she was the new face of Versace. Since then, she has done runway shows and ads for Chanel, Hugo Boss, Yves Saint Laurent, Fendi, and Moschino. Devin knows she doesn't fit the status quo, but she thinks that's a good thing. She said not everyone is tall with the same body type. Casey LeClair. She started out as a French Olympian swimmer. Casey competed in the 1996 Summer Olympic Games. She had a tall frame and athletic build, which helped her succeed on the swim team. However, she was ostracized because of her appearance. She said she left the sport when she was asked to leave the women's locker room and change in a separate room instead. After that, she became the first woman to be signed as a male model by Ford. Her androgynous looks help her land gigs advertising men's clothing, which has helped her take off in the modeling world. Erika Ervin. When Erika was only 14 years old, she was already 5 feet 11 inches tall. By the time she was 18, she was 6 feet 8 inches tall. She has always struggled with her height, but she finally found a place that made her feel welcome. When Erika auditioned for a spot on American Horror Story Freak Show as Amazon Eve, she had to make a few adjustments. The casting call was for a large man who could play a woman. So Erika pushed her hair back, bound her chest, and talked in a deep voice. After she got the part, she revealed that she's trans. She believes it's beautiful that she and her co-stars get to share their differences on screen. She says she is a part of her audience, and they get to see that in a beautiful story, even if it's scary. Natalia Castelar Cavani. Her Puerto Rican background is responsible for Natalia's gorgeous dark hair and thick eyebrows. Her classmates used to tease her about her eyebrows when she was a child, but now this American model knows that her eyebrows are what makes her stand out. She says she only regrets taking so long to fall in love with them. Jackie OShaughnessy. In an industry that claims 26 is too old, Jacqueline O'Shaughnessy is a true rebel. You may recognize her from her American Apparel ads as well as her roles on the stage and television. She's the silver-haired beauty who's not interested in age restrictions in any industry. She says her favorite piece of advice comes from Ruth Gordon's acceptance speech when she won her Oscar for Rosemary's Baby. Ruth said, "Never give up, and never, under any circumstances, no matter what, never face the facts." Katya Zhirkova. Katya is the plus-size model who was featured in a magazine that shed some serious light on the fashion model industry. In a spread Katya did for Plus Model magazine, she is featured in pictures with captions that say things like, "Most runway models meet the body mass index physical criteria for anorexia." Another caption said that the average fashion model weighs a lot less than the average woman. The magazine points out that 50% of women were a size 14 or larger. As it turns out, Katya isn't so unconventional after all. Jillian Mercado. Jillian Mercado is getting a lot of attention for normalizing disabilities in the fashion world. She has modeled for Target, Nordstrom, and has worked with the UN, and has even worked with Beyoncé. Jillian saw the lack of representation in her community and thinks the only way to move forward is to include everyone, behind the scenes as well as in front. Andrej Pejic. Andrej had a successful modeling career as an androgynous male model before transitioning and coming out as a transgender female. Today, she is one of the most recognizable transgender models in the world. She loves pushing the boundaries of the fashion industry. When you see her strut down the street, you can see why she is so popular. Nadia Allison. Plus-size model and fashion blogger Nadia Allison has worked tirelessly to make the fashion industry more size-inclusive. This viral sensation has her own TED Talk about confidence and taking risks. She also collaborates with Boohoo, a size-inclusive fashion line. Her goal is to make women feel confident in themselves no matter what their body size or shape. Cassandra Bankson. This model and beauty blogger has suffered from cystic acne for nearly 15 years. She speaks candidly about her journey with acne on her YouTube channel. The biggest thing she did to heal her acne and her body from years of intense acne treatments was self-care. Watching her diet, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, and reducing stress made a huge difference for her skin. She said she felt that her image was her only point of value. For Cassandra, self-love is a constant effort, but she learned that it all starts with compassion for yourself. What are your best unique features that make you beautiful? Share with us in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Taco for more.